Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy GZTV. We're back with another video, and here we are talking about the new Chief Keef WiLL collaboration. This is actually their debut mixtape together, which is kind of crazy because they've been both very popular in similar spaces for years. We have Dirty Nachos. So we're going to kind of talk about this real quick. I don't think this will be a super long video, maybe like 7 or so minutes. It'll be kind of like an Anthony Fantano style video. I'm not going to edit it too much either because I don't really have time to do that. I'll do what I can. But yeah, Chief Keef opens the year. We have a Trapaholic hosted album here. Obviously, Trapaholic is a huge part of trap music and just music in general. Almighty So 2 is supposed to be coming very soon, as is WiLL's first project in 7 years, so this is hopefully going to be a great year for both artists, producer, whatever you want to call WiLL. So they dropped a lot of singles coming into the album, but I've only heard the title track, Dirty Nachos. Like, we're kind of like behind the scenes dropping other singles, and I didn't really realize it. So that's super interesting. We pretty much got 17 new tracks, well, to me. So this album had leak problems, but here we are. They actually went through with dropping it, which is great. I don't know. There's a lot of weird discourse on Twitter going around Chief Keef. You know, oh, he's washed. Chief Keef in 2024, and it's just Celtics Shaq highlights. It's funny, but like, come on, man. I understand it to an extent. Like, obviously, he's not as huge as he used to be, but you can't use that to take away from his artistry as he continues to push a sometimes dead trap genre forward. Like, we're in a generation of rage music. A lot of people, a lot of the peers of Chief Keef have kind of been drowned out by music like you know, Playboy Cardi and Ken Carson and D Straight Lonely, Yeet, all these different artists. So yeah, he still stays true to his roots though. He doesn't kind of conform. He doesn't try to conform to a different sound. You know, the streets of Chicago will always make him do what he does. He continues to deliver. I thought back in 2021 when he dropped Fornem, that was an amazing album on first listen, and honestly, it just continues to age better and better as we get through the years. It's stacked up with a lot of good albums from that year. Like, if you saw my top album list, like my top 50 album of the year list, it was up there, man. So yeah, let's get into the content, and then we can kind of break down the album and its generalities. So getting into the content, I mean, there's not that much content there. This is just kind of seen as a giant appetizer, an 18-track appetizer for the big album, and boy, is it tasty. Obviously, the only thing I'm not really a fan of is Sexy Red being on here. I know she's a popular artist, you know, she's gaining waves all over the place. And it's not that Chief Keef's like seizing the opportunity. It's, well, to an extent they make kind of similar music. So like it's a really good complementary duo, but something about Sexy Red kind of stoops the level of a Chief Keef track down a little bit. They've obviously collabed a couple of times. I think he was on her deluxe album or something, Hood Princess, which Fantano gave a high review for. This is a pretty typical Chief Keef album. It's pretty normal. I'm not saying it's like bad because of that and it's generic, but yeah, it's got insane trap production, especially with WiLL collaborating with him. That just kind of elevates the production better than it was before. There's a mix of vocal and hardcore trap songs. It's not just like he's being a street gangster or whatever. Like, he's actually rapping about some real shit, putting some emotion in his music, which is something that a lot of other rappers of his kind don't tend to do all the time. There's a lot of entertaining flows and cadences. There's not really a bad song here. I will say the Sexy Red song is a little weak, but nothing too terrible here. Sometimes it's, you know, you get to the point where the song is a little bloated, and it's like, well, why are we still listening to this? But overall, and yeah, they can get repetitive, but this is some nice background music that can either hype you up or put you in a mood. There's a little bit of everything for everyone. Getting into some highlight tracks. I like Pull Up Ghost Clan a lot, Charged Up, Promenade. As short as a track as Doja is really good as well. Those are kind of like the 4 highlights. Every other song is okay, at least pretty good. Like, yeah, I don't really have much to say. Put him in the forest, change his name to Gump. That was a awesome bar. I just kind of wanted to bring that up, but yeah, I think we can just get into the review. Again, this is going to be a very concise video. There's not a lot to say. Let's go, man. So getting into the review, I mean, the concept of these two working together would have hit a little different 5 to 10 years ago, to be fair. And I do understand some people's criticisms about that. Well, yeah, why didn't they make an album sooner? But it's still a dope collab to have. They're still pretty relevant in the music space. Chief Keef has done some features. Like he was on the Lyrical Lemonade album. He's been on all sorts of albums. I can't think of examples right now, but people are possibly a little disappointed that Almighty So too has been delayed so many times. It's a huge sequel to live up to. I mean, Almighty So, the original, was a classic, and I mean, he's got people waiting this long. Hopefully, it's really good. I don't see it being a bad album, so we'll have to see what Chief Keef does from there. Yeah, based on the mixtape, I see some pretty good things. I mean, obviously, the album will probably be better, be a little more put together, put more time, a little more conceptual even than an album like this. But yeah, I see a lot of good coming out of it when it eventually drops. Some people are saying this month, some people are saying next month. Artists dropping nowadays, you just never know anymore. I need to give you guys a little something before I go off with my family for the weekend. So this is the content. I know that makes it sound like this is forced, but not really. I actually really wanted to listen to this Chief Keef album. I have high praise for him. I had some faith in this, and my faith was right to an extent. I would say this is a pretty solid album for him. I don't really like ranking albums out of 10, though. I'll listen to this throughout the weekend, get a feel for it. Again, this is just based on my first listen. Like most of my reviews, pretty much all of my reactions, obviously, are based on first listen. And I do realize that a mixtape like this shouldn't necessarily be taken seriously in its catalog, but it's still worth noting. I mean, obviously, when you're ranking like the best Chief Keef albums, is this an album you're going to include? Maybe, maybe not, but yeah, the bars are definitely there. They don't necessarily hit like they used to, but I still have a lot of appreciation for Chief Keef's music and what he has done for the trap genre, all of the artists he has kind of influenced and inspired. There's been so many people kind of calling back to him, working with him. So yeah, Dirty Nachos, him and Mike Will. I wonder if Mike Will is going to be involved with the actual album. I'm not really sure, but leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you guys like this sort of content. Okay, I know I said I don't like giving number reviews, but if I had to give this a review, I would say it's a 6 or 7 out of 10, probably a 6. I would say it's a 6 out of 10. I don't think it's that bad, but he obviously has better albums. We are talking about Chief Keef. So I'm out, guys. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. As always, that has been your boy. We do music, video games, TV shows, movies, all of the above, everything. So if you like that kind of stuff, stick around, man.